Welcome to this brand new video. Now, in this video, I'm going to go over the backend sales conversion on exactly how you can increase your sales conversion rate as a fence company owner with your current leads coming in, right? Now, everybody knows that there is a difference between high intent leads and leads that are not really that ready in the buyer's journey, right? Now, this does not mean that the leads is unqualified, that the leads are bad leads in a sense, just because they do not want to move forward this exact week. That just means that the approach that you take with these leads has to be different, right? Now, before I go in and explain this, who am I? What do I do? And what makes me qualified to even talk about? Okay. My name is Haider Ali. I'm the CEO and founder of Backyard Flow, and we work primarily with fence companies in the US, slowly transitioning into Canada as well, getting more business, right? And we work on a completely result-based model, which means that we take all the risk in comparison to you guys doing any of that. And we only get paid on a result model, which again, if you guys have any questions about, we can take that and also cover that as well in a video. Now, if you are a fence company owner and you are interested and you want to get more business, click the link below. It's going to be a free, no obligation call. You jump on with me directly. I'm the owner and I do take those calls till this day. And all I'm going to do there is I'm going to do a recap over what we do. I'm also going to do a recap, a quick look over what you guys are doing right now, what could potentially be better. And then also, just full transparency, I will go ahead and pitch you by the end of it, where you will then decide if you want to work with us or not. That is completely up to you. Again, no obligation. I have been working with more than 75 fence companies the whole last like 2.5 years that we started with working with fence companies. And I've taken a lot of notes on the check-in calls, the follow-up calls, the sales conversion calls, and also conversations that I have had with our private clients on what they're doing that is working, specifically the ones that are converting 60 to 80% of their leads. Also, compared to the ones that aren't converting too much, full transparency, we have guys converting at maybe 20%, 30%, which is industry average, but I mean, we consider it as quite low. And we're seeing a quite gap. We're seeing a big gap on this. So I recorded and I made this doc for our private clients, and now I'm recording this for anybody out there as well that owns a fence company, to just provide value, right? So if you get leads from anywhere other than like referrals, word of mouth, and you get any type of like cold, lukewarm-ish leads, if somebody gets you them or sends them over to you, this is going to be a good video for you to watch. Okay, so sit down tight. If you're in the truck, you're just listening to this, that's totally fine. But let's go over it. Okay, so there's a couple things to go over in this video. There is 6 specific steps to this video. I'm going to go over each one of them step by step. This will be a little bit of a longer video. Now, in the first individual step that I'm going to go over is taking the consultative selling approach. Okay. Now, the core mindset shift of doing this is the fact that when you are going out for a bid, you are not a salesperson showing up to give a price. You're like a consultant. And the reason is because if you show up there with the mindset of, hey, I'm going to win these guys over on price, you know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to have Joe in his truck pull up couple hours after, bid you down, and they're happy with making $100 in a day. You'll lose the job because you went on price. Okay, so that being said, and you know this, you do not want to be like that. You want to be like a doctor walking into a clinic to diagnose a patient, right? The prospect has a problem, and that is the reason they had you come out. They might have kids that run out in their backyard. They might have dogs. They might have pets. They might have unwanted people. And for privacy's sake, they do want that fence. Your job is to prescribe the solution and understand it. Sorry, describe the or understand the problem before prescribing the solution to it, right? So it's very important that you do this whole part of discovery. And before any discussion of the materials, the option, the cost, you must run a proper discovery conversation, even if the prospect's information was already collected. Even if you already spoken to them over the phone, even if you have spoken with them over text or met them before, ask them again, right? What made you want to get a new fence right now? Have you had any issues? What's most important to you? Is it the budget, the aesthetics, the durability? Is it the value that you're getting, the long-term help that you're going to get? Or is it just purely, we just need whatever we can set up? This is very important. A lot of people do this, but a lot of people do not have this mindset shift of, hey, I'm not just going to go out there with the price. I'm going to actually provide value, and I'm going to try to win that deal over on value rather than on price. A lot of people don't think like that, so make sure you're doing that. The second thing is strategic price anchoring. Okay? And I hear this all the time where you, as a fence company owner, you go out or you have a sales rep go out, give a bid, and the homeowner is sticker shock to the price, right? And many guys have faced this where you go out, say, pay $15,000 for this fence. Oh shit, I thought this was $2,000. I thought it was 500, right? The problem is that it's not that the leads are not qualified people that don't want a fence. Say that that homeowner actually needs a fence, like for privacy reasons, they actually need that fence and they want to get it installed. Just because they did not have the knowledge of what a typical fence costs does not make them unqualified. Just because they were sticker shock does not make them unqualified. There's an easy way to go about this. And the way that you would go about this is during this discovery phase, you would subtly introduce pricing concept so that it is mentally like already in their head that okay, this might actually cost a lot, that way they're not sticker shocked, right? So for example, say you're walking around the property, right? You're discussing options. Casually do mention like, oh yeah, these types of projects typically run around $15 a foot, $60 a foot, $20 a foot. Cedar is usually in the X range. Like let's say cedar is the premium option and whatever it may be. And you have the typical wood and the chain link that tends to come in around a Y. By the time the quote is like presented, this is the goal with this whole thing. The prospect has already been hearing numbers in that range, and they understand that by just doing the math that, okay, this might end up costing that much, right? The other thing is always present multiple options, right? A lot of people and a lot of companies are like very stubborn on a pricing and a structure, and they're very stubborn on a certain amount that they want to make and how much they want to charge, and that is their only option. What you don't realize is that you lose on, I don't know, on a lot of business that way. So for example, us as a company, right, we're a little bit different, but sales works the same, right? Service-based business. When we get someone on board, if they do not fit in our like perfect like flagship model, we have models for them as well. We have tiers all the way down to X amount that we know that anybody could get on. The reason we have that is because whoever's on a call with us genuinely has a problem. They want to get it solved. Why not make money off of it when we can? That's just how business works, right? You provide a solution to a problem. Same way, you always want to present them with multiple options, right? If for them, most important thing is budget, but they want a nice fence, well then propose them an option for budget as well. Say they want to work with you, they like how you guys work, they trust you guys, but you did not propose them a budget of that makes sense for them, right? So make sure that it is something that you guys can do, right? And it positions also the standard option as like a little bit more of a reasonable option compared to the premium, right? Which is very, very helpful. The third thing is create some type of urgency and like justifying discounts. Okay. So if you, and to be honest, this really only works if the lead has come in from a certain platform or a certain place. This doesn't really work the best with like Thumbtack Angie's leads because obviously, as everybody knows, they're shared. Everybody knows you're going to have 7 other people go bid the same job. So the likelihood of you winning that is quite. Now, the way that you would go ahead and create this urgency and justify this discount is because if you, like, first of all, if you just give a discount without a reason, it is a red flag. If I jump on a call with someone or I go out and bid a fence and I'm telling them, hey, this fence is typically $5,000, but you'll get it for $4,000. Why? Like, that's the first thing I would think, like, why? Why am I getting it cheaper, right? Do you think I don't want to spend money? Do you think that's going to be more affordable for me? Like, why? Like, give a reason for it, right? They will also question the value that way, right? You should frame it like something like this, right? So say, for example, they came in from Facebook, right? And you're currently running Facebook ads, you position it like this. So, hey, John, by the way, since you came in from our current Facebook promotion that is actually running out, and then you can check your phone, just about in about 2 weeks, we're going to be finished with this current promotion. You're going to get X for your current fence, or you're going to get 2 free gates. You're going to get 1 free gate. Right now, we're only running this offer for a limited time, so the pricing is not something we can guarantee in the next 2 weeks just because it is obviously a current promotion. That is already going to put you as a differentiator between anybody else, right? And keep in mind, the 4th step is the best ever been recommended and ever been told that I have so many guys doing right now, and it is crushing it, right? So I will come to that with you guys as well. Now, here's the thing. The urgency must feel real, right? So combine the discount justification with a genuine reason to act now. For example, you can say, hey, by the way, we can start this project in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I won't hold you to it, but the only way that we can get that discount for you is that we are going to get a commitment today. Now, the issue with the current way that a lot of guys and a lot of fence companies are doing their commitments, right, is based on word, right? There is no such thing as a word commitment. I'm a strong believer in this, especially in business. If a homeowner or anybody tells you that, hey, I'm committed, I'm going to do this, shake hands with it. There is no closed deal unless money has been exchanged. That is just a pure fact. And if you don't believe me, like that is just how it works, right? I've had so many guys come tell me, hey, we've closed these deals. It's 15 deals they had in the pipeline. Only two ended up actually closing because they made money off of them. You have not closed any deals unless you've collected some form of cash. And the best cash that you can collect is what? The whole job's like pay. If the job is 10K, if you can collect 10K on the day, awesome, that's great. What do people usually collect? Materials, right? People would take a 40%, 50% down, just get the material cost so that they can cover that and then actually go build a fence. Something that a lot of people don't do and think about is a micro deposit, right? A lot of people will go ahead and tell guys, hey, go ahead, think about it. Yeah, take some time, get some more quotes, come back to us, right? The chance of a homeowner getting back to you after they got multiple quotes, unless you did an exceptional job as a owner, is going to be very slim. Whereas you can do some tricky things in the back end to be able to make sure that they can remember you. And this is very like psychology based as well, because sales is psychology in a way. Say, for example, something like this, okay? And this is like the single most impactful thing you can make. You would collect a refundable deposit, typically of like $100 to $200, right? This is not the material deposit or the full project cost. It is a micro commitment. You use like a payment processor like Stripe or Square on the phone, right? Download it on your phone. And the prospect would simply just tap the phone on like your phone and you'd get the payment pretty much, right? Now, the way that you would frame this is that you would say something in the lines of combined to the last offer is like just based on this current promotional pricing that we have going on, you're going to get that locked in with this refundable deposit. Okay, we can start the project in 2 to 3 weeks. I won't hold you to it. This will like secure your spot in the discount. That is something that you can always say. Now, the reason this works, again, psychology based, is that the deposit is not about the money, right? I know as a fence company owner, you're looking at these, you're thinking, what is $200 going to do? I cannot go ahead and hold their price for a month. I cannot go ahead, because prices change so much, I cannot go ahead and give them a discount any more than that. What can I do? I can't go get the materials. The point of this deposit is not to get started with a job, right? Because a lot of people have this mindset of, hey, the only thing that we can do is we can get materials and we can also get paid for the job and then we're going to start. Like other than that, we're not going to start. I'm not saying you're going to start with this. This is only going to increase the likelihood of you, number one, clients getting back to you, number two, more conversions, and number three, increasing the likelihood of you making more money with those two things, right? So it's all about just living rent free in your prospect's head. I have not heard a lot of people, I basically have never heard this before my clients were mentioning this to me, actually collect a micro deposit, right? You might go to a homeowner and ask them, have you collected micro deposits? They have not. Like, which homeowner is open to paying a micro deposit unless they're genuinely serious? And they will, right? Trust me, they will. And when they will put down the micro deposit, if somebody puts down $100, conversation in their household goes from, oh, we got to get more quotes, oh, we got to do this, like all the way to, I know we should get more quotes, but we already paid this guy 150 bucks. Like we're already locked in. Or I mean, his price wasn't too bad. It's only a couple $100. Or I liked him. He has good volume. He has good like quality, right? Whatever it may be, they're gonna like you're gonna live rent free in their head. They're not gonna want to get 10 more quotes after that. Like they've already put some type of commitment down. Like you're already in their head. The benefit of this is number one, obviously it increases likelihood of you converting them. Number two, which is a funny thing, is that most guys will follow up for maybe 3 to 4 days after a lead has come in, and after that you won't follow up at all, right? Which is a known fact. Now, the issue with that is, say for example, you have now gotten a deposit, right? If the homeowner wants that money back, which I mean is totally fine if they want it back, like obviously you're going to give it back, they do have to reach out to you again. What happens when they reach out to you again? You now have a second opportunity to be able to convert them. Oh, John, like I understand you want to get that refund back. Do you think I can ask like what made you want to decide that or not move forward with us? Oh, the thing is, man, like I know you told me that we can put this up here. I didn't really like that idea. No problem at all. What if we go about with this idea? What if we go with this? You propose different things. You talk a little bit out of it and you can actually close the deal. This has happened multiple times where people have closed deals like this. So do not underestimate the micro deposit on the spot, okay? The fifth thing is a relentless follow-up. Okay, so if a prospect does not close on the spot, right, the follow-up process is what determines whether that deal lives or dies. Now, marking a lead as like uninterested or lost after a week and a half is leaving money on the table, and it purely is, right? Most leads, on average, nationwide, even with our clients, which again are in multiple different states, 2 to 3 weeks is usually the stage where you see people start converting. Which means that you have to follow up for at least a month before you even consider somebody as lost. Multiple ways of doing this. You can have a company. do the follow-ups for you so you don't have to worry about it, or you could do it all yourself. And this is so valuable because you have to do it. It's your business. Follow up. There's so much money in there that people lose out on, but you can continuously follow up with these people every 2 to 3 days, give them calls, shoot them emails, valuable things, right? Do what people do not do. Right. There's so many like small things that you can do that other guys don't do. That's like it's such a small thing, but it completely sets you on a different ballgame than anybody else. And this is why the top performing fence companies do the numbers that they do, right? Because they're able to do this. Right? Also, the deposit changes the follow-up game entirely, right? It becomes a lot more significant because the prospect has now skin in the game, be it $50, $100, $200. I mean, 100 to 200 is the sweet spot. They want a refund. Like I said, they do need to contact you, which creates another conversation. Same thing, right? At minimum, the prospect will respond. Now, without a deposit, the follow-up still needs to be expanded like well beyond a week. Like most clients that I work with that weren't converting too high and weren't converting to. A common trait was the fact that they were not following well enough. One guy even told me, like, I'll follow for 4 days, and after that, they're lost, which was just so insane for me. So do like use a CRM, use a tracking system, manage all open quotes, follow up at regular intervals for at least a month, like I said, and vary the follow up method. Right? If you have somebody on your team, like an assistant or a office lady or anybody that can help you out with this, cool, have them do it. If not, again, an agency could potentially do it. No pitch, but other than that, you have to do it. Okay, it's essential. Now, very last thing is the quick reference, the action item. Now, all of these are listed on a priority list of 1 to 5, and to be honest, every single one of them together is what creates this difference of going from like 20-30% conversion to like 50-60%, which again is a huge difference, but very small changes. There's small levers to pull down on. Number one is to collect a mobile deposit, right? Collect a deposit of $100 to $200 refundable deposit for commitment. Number two is reframe the estimate as a consultation. Okay, steer away from just going out there to bid and give a price 10-15 minutes and leave, right? Number three, implement price anchoring. Okay, so mention per square foot ranges early, always present 2 or more options, give them a budget, normal, and a premium option, always. Number four, justify whatever discount you're giving them, be that a free gate every 100 foot of fence, be that a like a 20% off, 10% off, whatever it may be, justify that discount with a reason, right? A deadline and the deposit. That is the only way that you're going to get a deposit. You're not going to get a deposit for just getting a deposit. Right? The only way you're going to get a deposit is, by the way, I know you need new gates. 2 free gates, we'll add them on. That is our promotional pricing. However, that pricing goes out in 2 weeks. I'm not going to hold you to it. I don't want you to like force make a decision, but I can hold that pricing for you for 2 weeks if you just put down a small refundable deposit. Boom, done. Last thing is extending the follow-up to 30 days. I don't like saying last list, and I didn't really like putting this in a priority list because they're all so important together. If you don't do this one doesn't really matter. If you don't do this one doesn't really matter. If you don't do this one doesn't really matter. Like they all go hand in hand, but you have to do all of them together. That is the most important thing. And if you really can only do one thing, do this one, do this one, do this one. And like again, I have to just say all of them, but do all of them. They're very small changes and they really, really help. Now, as mentioned, if you want to get more volume in, you want to get more appointments, you want to be meeting more homeowners and convert more deals, click the first link below, reach out, schedule a call with me personally. I am spending the next whole week doing all the calls myself personally, remove the sales team, anybody else. Any questions get directly answered by me and I help out. I show you whatever we do, every single thing A through Z. Again, we work on a purely pay on results basis. So if you're finally ready to scale your fence business beyond millions per year, our average client adds on $100,000 in revenue in the first 60 days. Right? That's a fact. You check our testimonials. So if you want to be one of those and you want to really, really crush it this year, 2026, and make it the best year for your fence company, use the first link below, reach out, we will talk about it. If not, I wish you guys the absolute best. This is more than enough to help anybody out there that is struggling with conversion rates. And we will talk again shortly. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your guys' day.